Okay, sorry about that. Apparently my phone storage got full there for a second. So again, I already added 1 can. We're gonna add a 2nd can. All right, that seems like a lot. We actually don't have a whole lot left to add. Oh, I can't talk today. I do keep a bag, like a simple Walmart bag, handy for trash. All right, we've got diced tomatoes. What we're gonna do is we'll actually drain this stuff off. So we can just use the tomatoes themselves. I'm actually got tomato I'm gonna cut up and put in there as well. I do like tomato, as you can see. Okay. All right, there we go. Emptied or drained. So we'll just dump the tomatoes in. All right, we're gonna mix this in a little bit because it's starting to look a little full. I just think it's just piling up on top of each other. So we'll just mix it up a little bit. There we go. So far we do got us a little bit of water in here from the meat. We're not gonna add a whole lot of water. If we add water at all, we'll just make the determination at the end. All right, so I do have hot diced tomato with habaneros, rotel. So we're gonna open this up as well, drain it off. Because again, we don't want excess liquid. We don't want our chili to be super runny. So we'll just dump it all in there together. There we go. Another thing, a tomato. So again, I really like my tomato. Mix it in. As you can see, the crock pot's starting to fill up. But when it cooks, it will actually cook down. It won't be as full. All right. So this is a little one that's a little bit controversial for people. It's a can of corn. I know a lot of people are like, oh, corn doesn't belong in chili. I'm telling you, with the heat, it's this little sweet kick. I do add honey to my chili as well because it blends, it balances everything out. We're gonna drain that off because we really don't want that corn juice. Yes, I'm using a measuring cup to dump everything into because it's easier to deal with. I can just go outside and dump it in the grass because I make this habit of parking up into the grass and stuff. So, yeah. There we go. And there. It's all the canned stuff that we can throw in there. Like I said, this is simple and easy. Now, the next step, you don't have to add, but these are items that you don't have to refrigerate either. The only thing that's refrigerated is the meat. Now, you can do this with ground beef, but again, I like stew meat. And as you can see, because the chili's like all one color, you got some yellow in there, and it gives it some contrast. When it's done cooking, it'll really, like I said, it's that like sweet pop. It's delicious, and again, it's a sweetness there that, yeah. All right, so we're done with that part. We're gonna set this stuff off to the side. I do have stuff I'm setting stuff on. I'm not just setting stuff on my bed. All right, so we're gonna start with the tomato. And hold on, let me grab my cutting board. I want to do this on this table because that makes a giant mess. All right, so here we got the tomato. I do have an onion I'm gonna bring up here, and I got 3 jalapenos. I go for the overly ripe ones when they start to turn red. They're hotter, and I love that heat. So, and I'm probably gonna regret this tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. That's future me's problem. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna slice the basically the ends off the tomato and discard them. Don't have a use for them. So, I'm not the greatest at cutting tomato. It's not my strong suit, but again, yeah, cutting on stuff on the truck. I actually was cutting onion one time and took a chunk out of my finger. So we're just going to chop up the onion. We're going with big chunks here. And so, yep, there we go. grab the crock pot. I want y'all to see what I'm doing here. Well, you know I'm not hiding stuff from you. It's not a lot of space here to work with, so. All right, what we'll do is we'll just push the tomato in there. There we go. And now we start with the onion. All right, I know a lot of people say, oh, onion's not good. Well, it's all about preference. I'm using red onion because, again, it's chili and it's a little bit of a contrast. We're gonna take this outer layer off. I'm not the greatest at cutting stuff up. We're not using this entire onion in this part, but what we'll do is we'll cut a bunch of it up here, and then the rest of it will go back into a Ziploc baggie, go back in the fridge, or go into the fridge. That way, I can have some with the chilies done. So we're gonna just cut this in half. So it's half off to the side. We'll just kind of chop it up. Oops. Yeah, like I said, this is not my forte here. And we'll just kind of chop it up a little bit more. Don't need anything super small, but don't need anything giant either. So we're just going to cut it up. And then so we're going to take this up, set over here. I'll get that in a Ziploc baggie a little bit later. Get in the fridge. Again, we're going to cut some of that up when the chili's done and throw it on top, because who doesn't like fresh onion on top? So let me grab the pot. No, as you can see, we haven't added any spices or anything yet, because we're going to do that when everything's done. Oop, I dropped a little bit on the floor, so I'll have to clean it up. So, all right, so it's done, right? Well, the chopping and stuff, like all the stuff, ingredients are in here, right? For the most part. So we're just gonna mix everything in. Don't be gentle because the tomato's gonna break down anyway. But I like a freshness in there. So fresh tomato on top of canned stuff, it adds a little bit of freshness. As you can see, it's pretty thick right now. It will thin up as it cooks. I've always made this habit of wanting to add water. I gotta remind myself not to. So, all right, there's that. All right, so now we go to the jalapenos. I know people are like, oh, do you seed the jalapenos? I don't. Like I said, I like the heat. It's more than just flavor. So I got 3 of them. Actually, I might save one. Actually, I'm going to save one of these. I got another recipe that I make later in the week. It's like a taco dip. So again, I got hot, spicy stuff for that too. So what we'll do is we'll just cut the end off here. Off both of these, because I don't need anything crazy, and I'll just slice it up. All right. Now remember, do not go to the bathroom after you've touched jalapeno without washing your hands first, because it will burn, or touch your face for that matter. I know this may not be for some. I'm not a PG person. I'm a very rough person. I do cuss and swear a lot. My friends know this. They don't really care. They're just as bad as I am. So, all right, there we go. Jalapeno's done. So we're gonna throw them in. Yeah, I like big chunks, so it adds flavor. It'll cook down. Stuff will break down a little bit, but jalapenos are one of my favorite veggies to use. Sometimes, just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I do have to take heartburn medicine on a regular because, again, I'm a glutton for punishment. See, so yeah. And as you can see, the pot's pretty full. It's not overly full. Like, I've made mistakes where I've overfilled my crock pot before. So I've scaled down the recipe. Like this is enough for me for a few days. Like what I'll do is I'll take the leftovers and I will put them in a Ziploc baggie, and I'll use it, like I'll eat later on in the week. It's something they can reheat. So it's not just oh, we're gonna make it for today and get rid of it. No, this is something I can make and reheat throughout the week. So, but that part's done. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna set the cutting board off to the side. I'll clean that in a little bit. So now we've got the actual crock pot. This is the smallest one I could find at Walmart. Sorry, it's a bit dirty because I haven't used it in a while. Let me wipe this off. Let me find the open Lysol wipes. What'd I do with them? Ah, there they are. I lose my head some days, I'm telling you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just wipe this off because somehow I managed to get stuff all over it and I haven't used it in God only knows how long. So, all right. All right, so now we're gonna season it. So I've got chili powder, paprika, black pepper. I mistakenly grabbed the organic one time, and then I got garlic powder. I got cumin, onion powder. I do like crushed red pepper, and of course my cornbread mix. That's for later, and then honey. So, like, my wife showed me, like, my wife doesn't like spicy stuff, so I kind of had to accommodate to her sometimes, or accommodate to her. So I don't have a problem with it. It adds complexity to it. So, like I said, bear with me. I don't measure things out. I just kind of just add till I feel like it's good. So I'll just add a whole bunch of chili powder. And then onion powder. I go through a lot of spices if you can't tell. I mean a lot. So, but I haven't really been cooking a lot as much as I should be lately. So it's just been worn out and run down. But I talk to my friends. Everybody's like, oh, you should do this, because like I'm gonna make breakfast, then I'm gonna take a picture and post it in here, and I want you guys to tell me what you think, because like my breakfast always looks like it belongs in the cover magazine for some reason. I don't know why. But I also cheat. I've actually got molds for my eggs. But out of paprika. Huh. I'm gonna have to get more pepper. I think I got another thing of paprika, honestly. And then here we go. Fresh red pepper. I do have some chilies I could throw in there, but yeah, I'm not. It's enough. And then of course honey. Just kind of squeeze a whole bunch in there, and then close the lid. All right, now we're just gonna mix everything up. Ooh, stepped on a Lysol wipe. Feels great. So we're gonna mix this up, and then so go. For those of you who are inquiring, yeah, I have a spot that I'll put it. Everything's said and done. I have a board I'm going to set it on. I do have cutting board. I have boards and stuff that I use to put hot items on. It helps. And my cast iron, anybody asks, I clean it. I do never use soap. I scrub it out with a scrub brush and water, and I do re-season it. Wipe it down with some oil. I actually have a Blackstone seasoning and cast iron conditioner. It does well to keep the cast iron, one, rust free, two, well seasoned, because that blackness is what you call seasoning. It's not dirty, it's not anything. It's just, this is the way cast iron is supposed to be kept. If your cast iron is like a blue, gray, you have no seasoning on it, so you might want to look up how to re-season it with like using a stovetop. You just get this thing scorching hot, and then you apply your oil and you season it in. I've done it with bacon grease. I've never done it with olive oil. Olive oil has a higher or low flash point, and we don't want to burn things and start fires. Burnt olive oil doesn't taste good. So, all right, we're gonna wipe this spot around where the lid goes off, because I've gotten stuff up there. So, but all right, so that's all mixed up, right? And then we'll just set it low, and we'll let it cook all day. Again, I'm gonna do this video. I'm gonna post it up, and then this evening, I'm actually gonna do the second part where the chili's getting done, and I'm gonna make the cornbread. So, again, welcome to Cooking on the Truck.